What happens when the name of one of the most powerful women in music gets unexpectedly dragged into a Hollywood legal drama she had absolutely nothing to do with? What happens when a seemingly quiet court filing involving Justin Baldoni explodes into a headline that includes Taylor Swift, one of the most closely watched and fiercely protected celebrities on the planet? This isn't just another tabloid rumor or clickbait twist. This is real, court-involved legal drama, with a surprise exit that has everyone asking, why was Taylor Swift subpoenaed? And why did Justin Baldoni suddenly drop it? Welcome to the tangled, unpredictable world where Hollywood film productions, celebrity legal strategies, and massive fandoms collide. What began as a controversial film project based on a best-selling novel has now spiraled into a story no one expected, a legal twist that briefly tied Taylor Swift's name to a case she wasn't even a part of, and now, just as quickly as it emerged, that connection has been severed. Baldoni has officially dropped the subpoena involving Swift. But the real question is, what does that say about the strategy behind the scenes? And what impact has it already had? Before we dive deeper, let's set the stage. Justin Baldoni, known for his heartfelt roles in Jane the Virgin and his compassionate work as a filmmaker and speaker, is also at the center of the film adaptation of It Ends With Us, a project already surrounded by scrutiny and tension. From casting backlash to creative delays, the film has attracted more than its fair share of criticism. But no one expected it to become entangled with the name of Taylor Swift, one of the most media-sensitive, lawsuit-conscious celebrities in the world, and yet, it happened. Reports started to circulate that a subpoena involving Swift had been filed allegedly as part of discovery in a broader legal battle surrounding the film's production or promotion, though the specific details of why Swift's name appeared remain unclear. Sources say it may have involved a digital communication, a mention in an email thread, or even a reference used to establish media influence. Regardless of the context, the inclusion of her name was enough to ignite a firestorm across social media. Within hours, Taylor Swift began trending alongside phrases like subpoenaed and Baldoni. Swift's fans, known worldwide for their fierce loyalty, immediately demanded answers. Why was Taylor being dragged into this? Was this a publicity stunt, a legal overreach, or a genuine part of a larger case? And most importantly, how could this be happening to someone who was never part of the dispute to begin with? For Swifties, this wasn't just a story, it was a call to action. Hashtags like #KeepTaylorOut and #JusticeForTaylor began trending, with thousands of posts defending her right to privacy and professional boundaries. Swift's silence only intensified the drama, leaving her legal team to handle the issue quietly, while the internet exploded with speculation. But now, in a sudden and telling reversal, Justin Baldoni has withdrawn the subpoena quietly. No formal announcement, no press release, just a motion that removes Swift from the case entirely. And while that may sound like a positive resolution, it also raises even more questions. Why was the subpoena filed in the first place? Was it an aggressive legal tactic, a mistake, or simply part of standard legal procedures gone too far? And why was it dropped? Was it due to legal pressure, media backlash, or fear of reputational damage? After all, Taylor Swift is not someone you mention lightly in court proceedings. Her legal team is known for being razor sharp, and her fans are relentless in their defense. Let's not forget, Swift has spent years curating her public image, fighting battles over music ownership, standing up for artists' rights, and fiercely defending her name in and out of court. So, even a brief legal mention, especially in connection with a case she's not directly involved in, is a high-risk move. It's no surprise then that many believe Baldoni's team recognized the potential fallout and decided that backing away was the safest, smartest decision. But let's also talk about what this means for Baldoni. His brand has long been associated with emotional intelligence, personal growth, and ethical storytelling. To be linked, even indirectly, to what some fans described as an invasive legal tactic doesn't align with the values he promotes. Public trust is fragile, and while the subpoena may have been legally permissible, the court of public opinion doesn't always play by legal rules. Was this just a classic case of legal overreach, or was it a tactical move designed to collect broader communications and evidence? With Swift's name showing up as collateral in the process in Hollywood legal cases, it's not unusual for attorneys to cast a wide net. But when that net catches a name as influential and as fiercely protected as Taylor Swift, the consequences go far beyond the courtroom. This moment also shines a light on a growing pattern: celebrities being included in lawsuits and subpoenas, not because they are central to the case, but because their involvement, even minor or indirect, can create leverage, pressure, or attention. In the digital age, every name dropped is instantly visible, every filing is open to the public, And when a name like Taylor Swift pops up, the whole world watches from a legal perspective. This may be a short chapter in a longer story about Baldoni's film and its production troubles, but from a cultural perspective, this moment speaks volumes about celebrity boundaries, legal strategies, and the immense power of online communities. It's a case study in how quickly a legal document can turn into a PR crisis, and how strategic silence paired with swift action can help avoid further damage. Taylor Swift, true to form, stayed above the drama. No public statement, no social media post, just a quiet retreat from a story she never asked to be a part of. And that might just be the most powerful statement of all. So now, the subpoena is gone, but the questions remain. Why was it issued in the first place? Who signed off on it? And what message does this send about the way the entertainment industry uses the legal system? You're about to hear the full story, from the timeline of events to legal expert analysis to what this means for both Baldoni and Swift's reputations going forward. This is your deep dive into one of the most unexpected celebrity legal moments of the year. Get ready, because what happens behind the scenes in Hollywood doesn't stay behind the scenes anymore. And in a world where every document becomes a headline, the truth is more complicated and more fascinating than ever. In a turn of events that has left fans and legal analysts buzzing, actor and filmmaker Justin Baldoni has reportedly dropped a subpoena involving none other than pop icon Taylor Swift. The situation, wrapped in layers of legal tension, entertainment industry politics, and online speculation, has sparked a flurry of reactions across social media. But what really happened? Why was Taylor Swift ever even connected to Baldoni's legal case? And what does it mean now that the subpoena is no longer in play? First, let's break down what we know. The original subpoena reportedly stemmed from Baldoni's involvement in the ongoing controversy surrounding the adaptation of It Ends With Us, a film that has faced intense scrutiny, production delays, and behind-the-scenes legal drama. While Swift was never a central figure in the case, her name entered the conversation due to alleged communications or references that had relevance to the broader legal context, possibly involving media influence, music rights, or commentary related to the cast and crew. Once the subpoena news broke, Swift's fanbase, famously protective and deeply engaged, immediately trended her name across platforms. For many, it was a jarring headline. Why would a musical artist be pulled into a Hollywood film's legal mess? However, now that Justin Baldoni has chosen to drop the subpoena, the story has taken a new turn. Many are asking, was the subpoena ever valid? Was it a legal strategy gone too far? Or did public backlash play a role in the sudden decision to back off? Let's take a closer look at the timeline, what experts are saying, and the broader impact on Baldoni's public image and legal stance. To understand why Taylor Swift's name appeared in connection with Baldoni's case, we have to rewind. Justin Baldoni, known for his roles in Jane the Virgin and for directing 5 Feet Apart, has recently been heavily involved in adapting Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel It Ends With Us. The project, although highly anticipated, quickly became the subject of controversy for multiple reasons, ranging from casting choices to disagreements within the production team and rumors of contractual disputes. As litigation around the film reportedly escalated behind the scenes, lawyers began pulling in a variety of digital records and correspondence. It was in this phase that Swift's name allegedly came up, possibly connected to an email or a reference in a text thread. While the specifics remain sealed or unverified, legal insiders suggest her mention might have been peripheral, more about proving influence or communication style than alleging any wrongdoing. Even so, just the mention of her name in a legal filing was enough to ignite speculation and headlines. Fans demanded transparency, while legal analysts cautioned that subpoenas can often be overreaching and may not reflect direct involvement. Swift's team, notably, never issued a formal public response, which many interpret as a strategy to not dignify the situation with further attention. So what led to the sudden dropping of the subpoena? Several legal analysts suggest that Swift's team may have filed a motion to quash the subpoena, or more plausibly, Baldoni's legal counsel may have reassessed the necessity of pulling her into the proceedings. The optics were not ideal, including a global superstar, especially one with a vast, organized fan base, in a contentious legal battle over a film project, could easily shift the court of public opinion against Baldoni. The decision to withdraw the subpoena was likely as much a legal maneuver as it was a public relations calculation. The backlash from even implying Swift's involvement was swift, no pun intended. Social media lit up with hashtags like #LeaveTaylorAlone and #SwiftNotInvolved, with fans expressing disbelief that her name was being dragged into a Hollywood controversy. PR experts were quick to weigh in. For an actor like Baldoni, who has built his brand on empathy, compassion, and uplifting narratives, this kind of headline, regardless of the intent, stood in stark contrast to his public persona. Critics began questioning the transparency of the legal process, while some entertainment lawyers suggested that the subpoena may have simply been part of a fishing expedition, a legal term for trying to gather as much data as possible in hopes of finding something useful. Ultimately, Baldoni's team issued no public comment, but their quiet decision to drop the subpoena spoke volumes. It sent a clear signal that the potential damage to public goodwill and perhaps Swift's legal resources pushing back was not worth pursuing. In the aftermath, Taylor Swift's name has been cleared of direct involvement, but the incident serves as a stark reminder of how quickly even the most peripheral association with a legal matter can explode into full-blown headlines. For Baldoni, the focus now seems to be on damage control and moving forward with the project without additional distractions. This episode may serve as a case study in how not to handle celebrity-adjacent litigation. When someone like Swift is named in any capacity, even tangentially, the ripple effects can reshape the narrative instantly. Now that the subpoena has been dropped and attention has shifted, what lies ahead for Justin Baldoni professionally? His focus remains on bringing It Ends With Us to the big screen. After delays and multiple waves of online criticism ranging from casting backlash to script concerns, the film has had a rocky path. Fans of the book are still hopeful, but there's no denying that the film's promotional campaign now faces the added challenge of rebuilding trust and clarity in terms of public image. Baldoni may need to reinforce his narrative of empathy-driven storytelling. A potential route could include interviews where he acknowledges missteps in the process, not necessarily legal admissions, but open, human reflections on the complexity of filmmaking and respecting boundaries. As for Taylor Swift, it seems she has moved on from the entire matter publicly unbothered, and with no indication that her team plans to escalate the issue further. Her silence might be the most powerful response of all. In Hollywood, perception is often as important as reality. While Baldoni didn't accuse Swift of anything, even indirect involvement can create waves. In this case, pulling back the subpoena seems like the only reasonable move, and one that may help refocus attention on the actual story, the film, and its message. Moving forward, both Swift and Baldoni are likely to return to their core audiences. Swift with her ongoing global success and music releases, and Baldoni with a renewed focus on storytelling that uplifts rather than divides. In the world of celebrity, legal drama, and media headlines, even the most seemingly minor legal motion can snowball into a full-blown public controversy. The case of Justin Baldoni dropping a subpoena that allegedly involved global pop superstar Taylor Swift is one such example. What started as a behind-the-scenes legal maneuver in connection with Baldoni's ongoing film project quickly morphed into an internet-wide topic of discussion, sparking debate, outrage, and speculation far beyond the courtroom. As we reflect on the events, one thing becomes abundantly clear: the mere inclusion of a high-profile name like Taylor Swift's in a legal process, even peripherally, can trigger massive attention. Whether or not the subpoena was justified from a legal standpoint, the optics of the move were difficult to manage. For Justin Baldoni, a public figure who has built his brand on compassion, mental health advocacy, and respectful dialogue, the association with a subpoena targeting someone as beloved and influential as Swift seemed jarringly out of place. His decision to withdraw the subpoena, whether motivated by legal advice, public relations concerns, or both, signals a pivot away from unnecessary escalation. It's worth examining why this moment resonated so strongly. Taylor Swift is more than just a musical artist. She is a cultural force with an intensely loyal fan base that actively monitors her name, brand, and representation in the media. Any suggestion that she was being pulled into a legal dispute, especially one that had little to do with her actual work, was bound to provoke a wave of response. And respond they did. Swift's fans launched trending hashtags, criticized the perceived misuse of her name, and called on Baldoni and his legal team to reassess their approach. In many ways, this situation highlights a broader pattern we've seen evolve in entertainment law and internet culture. Legal actions don't just stay in the courtroom anymore. They're broadcast online, dissected on Twitter and TikTok, analyzed on YouTube, and judged in the court of public opinion within hours. Every filing, every motion, and every name mentioned becomes fair game for analysis. It's no longer about just what is legally admissible, it's about how the public will interpret it, react to it, and potentially influence the outcome. For Baldoni, the aftermath of this episode may serve as a cautionary tale. The timing of The subpoena, combined with the sensitive nature of involving someone like Swift, gave the impression of overreach even if that wasn't the intention. The best-case scenario is that it was a legal formality taken too far. The worst-case narrative, which some were quick to speculate, is that it was a media ploy or pressure tactic. Regardless of the truth, perception matters, especially for someone in the public eye. The quiet decision to drop the subpoena without a drawn-out fight may help cool the situation, but the ripple effect in media coverage and fan sentiment will linger. That said, it's also important to acknowledge that this isn't the first time a celebrity's name has ended up in a court filing without their direct involvement, and it won't be the last. The entertainment industry is a complex web of contracts, negotiations, communications, and overlapping interests. Sometimes, subpoenas are issued as part of a broader discovery process in search of digital communication or context. That does not always imply wrongdoing or involvement. It simply means someone's name or content is part of a trail of relevance. In this instance, Taylor Swift may have been nothing more than a reference point in an email or message chain. But when your name holds the kind of cultural weight hers does, even that can stir up enormous attention. Interestingly, Swift herself remained completely silent throughout the ordeal, neither confirming nor denying the existence of the subpoena. That silence, many agree, was a powerful move. It allowed her legal team to likely handle the matter discreetly and professionally behind the scenes, without feeding into the media cycle or giving more oxygen to the situation. It also reinforced her reputation for maintaining composure and strategic communication in the face of unpredictable media storms. From a legal standpoint, the dropping of the subpoena likely signals one of two things: either the material being sought was deemed unnecessary, or the potential fallout from involving Swift outweighed any benefit the information might have provided. Legal experts often advise clients to avoid needlessly entangling unrelated parties in legal disputes, especially when those parties have the power to fight back, both in court and in the public domain. The legal system may allow for wide-reaching subpoenas, but not all of them are wise moves. As the dust begins to settle, Justin Baldoni now faces the task of refocusing attention on the core of his work. The film It Ends With Us, based on Colleen Hoover's popular novel, the project has already endured more than its fair share of controversy, including delays, script changes, and casting criticism. The last thing it needed was another distraction, especially one involving a completely unrelated A-lister. By backing away from the Swift-related subpoena, Baldoni may be hoping to close that chapter and redirect the narrative back to the film's storyline and message. There's still a great deal of work ahead if Baldoni wants to repair his public standing in the wake of this misstep. Interviews, strategic messaging, and perhaps even an acknowledgement of how the situation played out may be in order. The public tends to be forgiving when celebrities own their choices, express growth, and learn from their decisions. If Baldoni takes that path, he may be able to come out of this moment stronger, wiser, and with a deeper understanding of the responsibility that comes with being both a public figure and a producer. In closing, the saga of the Swift subpoena that wasn't is a lesson for everyone in the industry. It's a reminder that legal tools must be used carefully, particularly when they intersect with massive public figures.